I appreciate the time to talk. And I really appreciated the ceremony you just had that speaks to the dignity and worth of life always, always. So I'm going to start with the end of what I want to talk about, and then because you'll cut me off when I hit 5 minutes, but you have the discretion to let me talk a little longer if that happens, if it's valuable, is that I want to prevail upon the commissioners. We all know, and you were all there, and I see Prosecutor Tacalvi, he was here. He stepped out of the room. We're all at the blessing ceremony of a baby box in Union Township, which people might not know what baby boxes are, but for the last 5 years in Ohio, there's been the ability to have a box for women to put unwanted babies into at fire stations, police stations, and hospitals. They're just now coming into Ohio. Safe haven, which is the ability to surrender a baby at any police station, fire station, or hospital, has been in existence in Ohio since 2001. Unfortunately, when that was put in place in Ohio, we did absolutely nothing as a state to raise awareness. I found a lot of fire departments don't even have procedures that if somebody were to come there with an infant, what to do. And you hear these, fortunately, they're extremely rare, and sometimes people try to make them into like it happens all the time. It is extremely rare that you have one of these horrific incidents of a baby found in a dumpster or something like that. And so there's a lot of emotion around it. I'm glad, but thank God that it's extremely rare that this happened. But it's a good time for us to step back and use the awareness of the baby box and a lot of the issues going on with them, a lot of because of me, because of a lot of legal code compliance issues with the boxes and just procedural issues, to think about what we should be doing as a county and what we should be doing as a state to do it right in Ohio. And kind of saying I'm going to start with the end is what if, and by the way, I have a state rep's going to introduce a bill to this effect. What if in Ohio, there was a sign on every police station, fire station, and hospital just for the purpose of safe haven awareness? So this is an example draft of a sign that says, safe haven available here. You can confidentially surrender your baby up to 30 days. Ring bell. If no answer, call 911 or go to a hospital. Need help, call Help Me Grow. By the way, Help Me Grow is a state program. Part of the bill that'll get introduced will be to make its toll-free number 24/7. It is currently not 24/7. And that number is to help women, I guess, or men in crisis or with pregnancy planned or unplanned, and with knowing all their options. I found out that, I didn't even know this, that they put if you call them, they would put somebody called an assessor with you, and the assessor would help a woman to understand all of her options, including open and closed adoption. But also, I never thought about this, custody, legal custody with a mom, a grandma, a friend, until such time as the woman feels that she could raise her own child. That's one of the options. So imagine if we had that kind of sign on every police station, fire station. Imagine if we had signs like this in Claremont County on places like the municipal court, the Board of Elections, et cetera. And it's just a safe haven awareness sign that says, you can confidentially surrender your baby at any police, fire, or hospital. Help Me Grow. And where's the closest hospital to get aid? And then imagine if we had signs where there's baby boxes. Right now, we have one baby box. If I'd ask people to go look at it, actually look at the signs. I know you guys were at the event, but actually read the signs. They tell a mother nothing about how to get information. Up until now, I just checked it on the way, the information that is available, the mother doesn't even have access to until after they've opened the surrender door to be able to understand. But this one, I won't cover this. This could be the kind of sign at every box that goes through how to get help, the rules about surrender, and that you can have you can do person-to-person surrender, which is always better than just putting a baby in a box. How to get a baby back. What people also don't know is that the company that does baby boxes likes to have press events whenever a baby's surrendered. Professionals I've encountered in the safe haven area and other places, they're aghast at this because 20 to 25% of women who surrender a baby under safe haven come back, and they have a 30-day period where they can come back and reclaim their baby. A lot of times they change their mind, right? And so professionals don't make a big noise when a baby's surrendered because they want to leave open that a woman could feel comfortable coming back to get her baby, and she has legally a 30-day window to do so. Where's about learning your options? I don't know if it's the right number, but I put Claremont for Kids on there. We probably have things in Claremont County that are the local resources. I don't know if you guys know where the hospital is, that within the box itself, none of the materials are even customized. When the box launched, it told women if they needed medical help, the form in the box, the paperwork in the box said to go to a midwifery center in Fort Wayne, Indiana, because they were just copying and pasting and sticking forms in boxes without even doing the diligence to put our hospital on it, where you go here, who you call in Claremont County. So I would love you guys to be behind the idea of what I brought up. It shouldn't be controversial. I know a lot of us are at political odds a lot of the times, but this shouldn't be controversial. And I think we found in other locations that in other parts of the country, that $50 to $100 signs used more have a bigger impact than $15,000 baby boxes, which is what they cost. There is a financial motive behind the Safe Haven Baby Box Company. They're looking for Ohio to make them millions of dollars of revenue by trying to position boxes at every fire station. And one thing that's interesting to think about, when you get one, so Union Township, I think, has 6 fire stations. There's a box at one. Wouldn't you think then Safe Haven Baby Box would provide signs like this to put on the other fire stations, maybe also pointing to where is a box in your area? They don't do that because they want every one of those to buy $15,000 boxes. I think we should all step back and look at it. I'm not questioning the intent of the good spirit of what we've tried to do in Claremont County, but I am saying that we should now say, what is this? How should this really work? And I think we have an opportunity in Claremont County to lead the way, actually, by putting signs like this on buildings to raise awareness, which I think is most important. The handout that I provided you, and if there's anybody in the audience that wants one, I have like 4 or 5 more in a folder, goes through our box and it highlights some of the things and some of the things about the material. But just to use an example, a 15 amp electrical device mounted in the exterior wall of a fire station to the elements is not UL listed, never been safety tested. How can that be? How can we think that's okay and not have done the due diligence? The other side has signs, the example of one of the signs, and it has some QR codes so you can actually go watch. One of the other things that is aghast is that the babies oftentimes get used by the company in promotional videos for fundraising. Babies that have been surrendered in boxes. There's never been a surrender in Ohio. I get the feeling I'm getting the hook. Thank you. Thank you guys very much for allowing me to talk. And hopefully that you guys will take and look at it and think of how can Claremont County, how can this county government perhaps be a part of, starting out with, I think the bill will pass ultimately that will provide signs from the state, but maybe we should lead the way and provide a little bit of funding to put these signs up on all of our locations and make them available. I think it would be a great positive thing for you guys, the commissioners, and for Claremont County to do to show a leadership role. And as it comes to baby boxes, the place where they should start is at hospitals, where there is always people present to render immediate aid to an infant in need. Thank you, guys.
Kelsey is in Troy, Ohio. And just recently, one fire department received 3 babies in 2 months. So it can happen here. And we need to be ready to respond. Is there a technical thing that is going on here? Yeah, I read the reports. Understand what the health department's doing. Understand what a concerned citizen threw out there to cause trouble. That's my opinion. And I'm allowed to have that opinion. I believe that our chief, our council, every one of us had everything in order in our hearts and our minds to say we want to provide for our community. Provide for these desperate moments. And now we have individuals trying to derail this on a technicality. I think we need to really think about this and understand what is at stake here. Because as a community, we want leadership. We want a mayor. We want a council that's going to listen to the voice of our people in Troy, Ohio. And I hear the voice of our people as a pastor. And we want to make sure that we take care of life and take care of those that are desperate in that season of life. Yes, we would love them to come forward. Love the opportunity to counsel. But that opportunity is not always there. And that's why we have to make sure that we give them this. That we push as hard as we can as a council, as a community to say, this needs to happen. Did it come at a cost? Sure. Is somebody making money off of it? Probably. But yet we have the ability. It's in place. And we need to go forward. And if it's about fundraising, it'll happen. Because we have a great community with a great heart to make sure that we take care of each other. those that are desperate. And I want to make sure that we have that voice, that these children have every opportunity to have a chance at changing the world just like we do. And we need to give that to them. They deserve that. And that's what I want us to hear today. So I appreciate the time. I appreciate your hearts. And I know that you'll do the right thing. Thank you.